Hello, mathematicians. My name is Stephanie, and I love math, especially solving math word problems. Today, we're going to read a word problem, write an equation that represents it, and decide on a strategy to solve it. Let's read our word problem. Follow along with me as I read. At the park, there are 60 butterflies at the butterfly house. Moesha counts 38 butterflies in her backyard. How many more butterflies are there in the butterfly house than at Moesha's house? What's that? I heard you say that this sounds like we are comparing amounts. You're right, we are. We are comparing the amount of butterflies at Moesha's house with the amount of butterflies at the park butterfly house. So let's get started. Let's use our imagination and imagine that we're at the park looking at the butterflies. Have you seen any butterflies lately? I've seen many colorful butterflies flying around outside, just like these. I just love looking at nature. My friend Moesha loves nature also. She actually has a butterfly bush near where she lives, and she says that she counts 38 butterflies that fly around there. And she knows that at the park, there's a butterfly house with 60 butterflies. Sounds like we're comparing 38 and 60. What do we know already? Yes, you're right, 60 is a bigger number than 38. But how much bigger? That's what we need to figure out. Moesha wishes she had the same number of butterflies as the park has because she loves watching butterflies. Can we help her figure out how many more butterflies they have than her, so she will know how many more she would need to have the same amount of butterflies as the park? Of course we can. Let's do it. How can we help Moesha figure out how many more butterflies she needs to have the same number of butterflies as the park has? I heard you say, let's start by writing an equation. Yes. A great way to solve a word problem is to first represent it with an equation or number sentence. Okay, so what would the equation be that represents this word problem? I heard someone say 38 plus how many more equals 60. That represents this word problem very well. Moesha has 38 and the park has 60, and we know that 60 is more than 38, but we don't know how many more. We're off to a great start. What should we do next? I heard you say we should also represent the story with a picture. Great thinking. It always helps me to draw a picture when I'm solving a word problem. Okay, you sit tight there and give me a minute or two. I will draw the 38 butterflies that Moesha has and the 60 butterflies that are at the park, and then we can compare the amounts or see how many more there are in 60 than 38. Here's one, here's two. Oh, hi Splat. What's that? Splat? This is my friend Splat. He loves solving word problems too. Oh, Splat is telling me he heard you say that it will take too long to draw all those butterflies. You're right. Drawing a picture of all the butterflies isn't an efficient way to represent this word problem. So what's a better way to represent this word problem? I heard you say represent the numbers on a number line. That's a very smart idea. A number line is an efficient way to represent the numbers in an equation. Let's do it. Great. We have an open number line to use. Now, what should we do? I heard you say that we should put the numbers from our equation on the number line. Yes, you're right. Our numbers from the equation are 38 and 60. Which numbers go where? I heard you say 38 goes on the left side of the number line and 60 on the right side of the number line. Great thinking. We should put 38 on the left and 60 on the right. And then we can see the difference, or amount of space between the two numbers. All right, so how do we figure out how much this is? The difference between these two numbers. This amount will represent how many more butterflies there are at the park. I heard you say that we can use addition to find the difference to solve our problem by counting up from 38 to 60. How many times I count up to get to 60 will represent the difference between the two numbers. That's great thinking. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. What? Oh, I heard you say there's a more efficient way to count up from 38 to 60. Okay. What is a more efficient way to count up from 38 to 60? I heard you say that we should first count up to a friendly number, like 40. Great idea. 38 is so close to 40. 38 and 40 are just 2 spaces apart. 1, 2. Okay, we're at 40 on the number line. Now what? Splat, do you hear something from our mathematicians? Splat said he heard you say to now skip count by tens to get to 60. Great idea. Let's see. How many tens does it take to get from 40 to 60? 10, 20. That's right. You said 2 jumps of 10 gets us from 40 to 60 because 1 jump of 10 gets us to 50 and 2 jumps of 10 gets us to 60. So first, we jumped 2 single spaces and then we made 2 jumps of 10. 2 tens and 2 ones is our number of jumps. So what number is represented by 2 tens and 2 ones? That's right, 22. The amount between 38 and 60 is 22, which means 60 is 22 more than 38. And 22 is the difference between 38 and 60. You were right. Using the number line is a super efficient way to find the difference between 2 numbers. So, since there is a difference of 22 on the number line between 38 and 60, that means the park has 22 more butterflies than Moesha. Moesha needs 22 more butterflies to have as many butterflies as the park. We did it! We solved our word problem. Moesha has 38 butterflies, The park has 60 butterflies. The park has 22 more butterflies than Moesha. Wow. Today, we solved a word problem where we had to compare two amounts and find out how many more the larger amount is than the smaller amount. We knew that Moesha has 38 butterflies, but Moesha wants to have 60 butterflies like the park does. So we compared the amounts of butterflies to see how many more butterflies are at the park. We represented this word problem with the equation 38 plus blank equals 60. Then we used a number line to represent those amounts and the space that's between them. Then we used some mental math to figure out how much space is between the two numbers, or what we call the difference. We first went to a friendly number, and then we skip counted up by tens. The amount we jumped on the number line to get from one number to the other represents the difference. Wow! Solving math word problems is so much fun. Well, I have to go for now, and it looks like Splat already left. But I really hope to see you again soon so we can solve more word problems like these. Bye.